Hey guys, what's up? My name is Sir Rance Murphy, and you are now watching NTC e-learning community. Hello again, guys. So what's up? How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Now, for this video, would like to thank you for watching and clicking for this video to watch about the topics, the main topic, which is the human person in the society. So we're going to tackle about in this video the human person or uh, what are the functions of the human person in the society and other stuff just like theories of society and other philosophers. Okay, so but before we proceed to our discussion, let me introduce to you the learning objectives that you students must be able to achieve at the end of the lesson. Okay, so these are the learning objectives. So the first one is you need to be able to recognize how individuals form societies and how individuals are transformed by societies. The second one is you need to be able to compare different forms of societies and individualities. And the last one is to explain how human relations are transformed by social systems. So all of these learning objectives will be attained or will be achieved at the end of the lesson or after doing the course activity itself. So I hope you're ready for now because we're going to tackle about the human person as a social animals. So according to Aristotle, humans are social animals and therefore naturally seek the companionship of others as part of their well-being. So we are meant and programmed to be socially interactive with others. So we are socially interactive. So we can't live a day or even a year or even how many years of not interacting with somebody else. It's because we are truly deep inside, no matter how hard or how hard are we as introverts, we are still finding that certain kind of social interaction within some point of our lives. So that's why we are totally social animals. So man, the social animal. So man cannot live alone. He must satisfy certain natural basic needs in order to survive. So he has to enter into relationships with his fellow men for living a life. So no man can break the shackles of mutual dependence. So this begins perhaps between the embryo and the mother and continues till the last breath. So the need of the embryo may be more physical than mental, but the mother's need is the other way around. So it's kind of like interactional, or we call this. There's an interaction between the a certain person to another, and then there's what we call the benefit or mutualism. Like you can benefit from the other, and that certain person also benefits from you, and that creates a social interaction within the both of you. And then that is why we are social animals, because we tend to survive more effectively if we work together as one. So if we work together as a unit, and if we're talking about working together as a unit, it means that you are working with someone else harmoniously. That's why we are called social animals. So let's proceed to the theories of society. So the first one that you need to keep in mind with the society is the Platonic concept of society. So in here, Plato divided the society in three social classes. The first one is the producers. So this is the producing class, which includes the farmers, merchants, and laborers or workers. So it is from the bottom part or the lowest part of the hierarchy. So the second part of the hierarchy is the guardian class, where the guardians talks about or refers to the soldiers or the police force. So it defends the producing class and the ruling class from each potential danger from other state of nature. And the last one is the ruling class or the rulers, which includes philosophers, thinkers, rulers, and kings that is selected to lead the entire society. Okay, so this is the Platonic concept of society. He divided the society into three social classes, which are the producers, guardians, and the ruling class. So each of them have their own functions. So the producers produces the ingredients, procures the stuff for the agriculture and the food source and all of sorts of farming businesses. The guardian class, its function is to defend the people he is supposed or they are supposed to defend. Just like they must be defending the ruling class and the producing class at the same time. So and the ruling class also has the its own function. So the ruling class is selected to lead the entire society, to control the guardian class and producing class on how to conduct its own function. So you are if you belong to the ruling class, you are doing such things such as like controlling or making laws upon controlling your own society. Okay, so that is the function of the ruling class. The second one is the theory of Aristotle. So he said here that man is by nature a social animal. An individual who is unsocial naturally and not accidentally is either beneath our notice or more than human. So society is something that precedes the individual. Man cannot live alone. So he said here that if there is an individual who is unsocial, and he or she is unsocial naturally and not accidentally, it means that he is beneath our notice or he is more than a human. So he is not a human itself. So he's not limited to the limited capabilities of a human. He may be more of a human or maybe something beneath of a human. So it's either of them. So that is his theory about society. The third one is Aquinas. He potentially speaks here or potentially points out here that man is naturally a political being and as such seeks to live in the community or society. So he believes that man must live in the community or society for the purpose of a common good and brings people to live together under one ruler. So we get political sometimes. So we need something that rule over us in order for us to have harmony and order and organize actions and we will not fall onto savagery. So that's why we need something to rule. That's why man is naturally a political being. So that is the theory of Aquinas in the society itself. So in terms of Machiavelli, he stated here that society should be ruled absolutely by powerful person and the individual members below them or below him or her of the society must follow in order to establish an orderly community. So it became more and more organized and structured, the society, when it comes to Machiavelli. So one must be a ruler and the other individual members or the followers should follow the mandates of the powerful person who is considered as the sovereignty of the certain society in order to establish an orderly community, in order to have an organized community. So that is it. That is his idea of society. And here, the next one is Hobbes and Locke. This is Thomas Hobbes and John Locke. Hobbes and Locke argued that that the state had risen out of a voluntary agreement or social contract made by individuals who recognized that only the establishment of sovereign power could safeguard them from the insecurity of the state neighbor. So simply, if we have no government at all, people could fall into real savagery. Magiging savage tayo. Like, we are mindless creatures. Like, we are given the equal opportunity to kill each other. That's why we need laws and order. We need the law. We seek law and order in order for us to safeguard us from the state of the nature, which is killing and other abilities that could potentially do harm for others and for ourselves. That's why we need something that we call a government. And here, the last one for theory is Alvin Toffler. The futurist Alvin Toffler identified three revolutions. So in his trilogy, The Third Wave, Power Shift, and the Future Shock, Toffler identified three waves that have impacted the world, namely the agricultural, the industrial, and the information revolution. So in the next part, I will show you some, is not a diagram actually. Is it diagram? No, it's not a diagram actually, but it is some kind of a presentation of each wave, which Toffler explained. Okay, so let's have about the Toffler's waves of society. The first one is what we call agricultural revolution, which started around 10 years, I mean 10,000 years ago, where this revolution freed humanity from over-reliance on what nature has offered or what nature is offering. So we don't really focus that much on hunting and gathering, because hunting and gathering is entailed that humanity then depended only on what the nature had in store for them. So in this agricultural revolution, we tend to upgrade our skill sets to create farms and crops and other sorts of uh, like is it dispensable? Something like generating food source, a generating source of food. So we tend to create something, a concept which could generate food source, such as growing up farms or crops, or like opening a barn, like putting some animals in it, make them reproduce, and then uh, yeah, butcher them, then make them, yeah, get their meat, something like that. It goes dark and dark. So the point is, agricultural revolution freed us from depending on what nature has offered us. So we're not only focusing now on hunting and gathering, but we're also focusing on the producing, agriculture, and farming. The second wave is the Industrial Revolution, which it owes its intellectual roots to scientific heritage that assumes that all natural, psychological, and social processes can be fully explained by material and physical processes. So as you can see, science are very well versed on certain terms of empirical evidences. When you say empirical evidences, it's about like real evidences, like tangible evidences, like it can be perceived by five senses. It can be tasted, it can be touched, it can be seen, it can be heard. Yes, it can be smelled. Okay, so smelled. Yeah. So in terms of industrial revolution, here in this age or in this wave, what do you call this? Science spread out all over the world. Like it gives us breakthroughs when it comes to discoveries in science, uh, like even up to now, we are still getting some breakthroughs in the science field, which includes also the famous formula of Albert Einstein himself, which is the E equals mc squared, which is the speed of light, which is energy, is equals to the mass. Is it really like that? I forgot the interpretation of the E equals mc squared, but it explains the speed of light. I'm not sure, but it explains the speed of light. And he also created the general relativity of the gravity. And then he also discovered that the gravity has a speed of 9.8 meters per second. So, and lots of breakthroughs, like Stephen Hawking discovered black holes, created something, the black hole like Sagittarius A, that is a black hole. And then he also used some theories. I don't know if that was Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking, like the general relativity, where the space and time continuum is existing together. Like they are hand in hand, existing together. Yeah. So enough of the off topic. My point is, in this revolution, science is very dominant in this space. So lots of breakthroughs, discoveries, and formulas, theories. And the last wave, the third wave, up until now, which started in 1950s, is what we call information revolution, where the developments and the technological advancements of electronics and computer technologies, along with the dramatic changes in telecommunications, provided the basis for economic change. Of course, it truly has provided the economic change for the whole world. Like breakthroughs of inventions from the supercomputer or the first computer, which is something like resembles a calculator, and then from the basic computer, like the first computer in 19 is it 1960s 70s, the first desktop computer, and then this up to the supercomputers like supercomputers in NASA, and up to now, like they created tablets, cell phones, laptops, and other technological advancement gadgets like smartwatches, AirPods, Bluetooth charging or wireless charging. It's there are lots of breakthroughs in invention. Here, technological advancement and science are working hand in hand. That's why it's called information revolution because it focuses on the advancement of the telecommunications and the computer technologies and electronics itself. So that is why information revolution. Like we can't rely only now, or we can't rely anymore on sending letters like the real from letters made out of paper. Now we can just send a text like it's an e-text, an email, an electronic mail. Then send a text, and then we receive a reply in just a few buttons to click, and then you can send it through waves. And that is the technological advancement of the third wave, which is the information revolution. It is still happening right now. We're still in the third wave though, but it happened in 1950s. So that is it for my part. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to explain detail by detail, each and every detail about human person, the human person in the society. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to clarify all things. If you have any questions so far, you can hit me up on Facebook Messenger, or you can just text me. I've given the numbers, the globe and the smart carrier numbers of my phone. And then if you have any questions so far, just beat me up. Just beat me up. I'm kind of like open, and whenever I see your text, I will reply immediately. Okay. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, the chance to explain everything and to clarify things. Thank you very much for clicking this video, for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe Northlink TV channel. So watch this video, and after you watch this, please click subscribe and like the like button and the notification bell. Okay. So before we end, just a few reminders lang. Remember to read your information sheet first before proceeding to your course activity, smiley face, smiley face. With me. So yes, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope to see you soon when the crisis started to flat down. Okay, so thank you very much. Stay happy, stay healthy. Peace.